So it has nearly been an entire year since I returned back to New Zealand from London. And I suppose that this past year I have really been thinking and reflecting about my time and my experience in London. And I guess the question was raised of whether or not I would move back. So let's talk about it. Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Sarah and I moved to London when I was 18, literally 2.5 years ago, which is crazy. Time goes fast. But I have been back a year and I have really been reflecting a lot on my experience and my time there. And I thought I would get into it today. So without further ado, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I do quite a variety of content. I do solo traveling. I do uni life content because I apparently am a mature student at university now. And I also talk a lot about this and my tips and advice on that. So yeah, let's get into it. So I moved to London when I was 18 in 2023. And I suppose that was quite a bold move in my life, and it really was something that has changed my life. The course of my life would be completely different if I never did it. The fact that I could have honestly be graduated university this year is quite scary to me, considering I am only 20 years old and I could have had a whole ass degree by now. But anyway, I have a video of, it's not very good, but I will link it down, of my experience moving home from London. And it wasn't the best time. It was quite a hard 6 months because I had a 6-month period from returning home and from when I would start university. I think it was even more like 8 months because I started in February. And that was quite a rough time. And I really thought long and hard and I felt really upset. I honestly could not talk about my experience in London because it made me so physically upset that I had finished and it was over and that I am back in New Zealand and I'm so far away. You know, if you have any idea on what the world map looks, New Zealand is so far from London. Like it's as far as you can get pretty much. It's a killer. It's a killer journey to even get there. It's like 40 hours almost. So it's pretty far, and New Zealand is very isolated. A very isolated country, you know, like our neighbors are so far away. We're like oceans apart, you know what I'm saying? So I would say I felt very isolated and very kind of stuck in a way. It's weird. Returning home from when you've been up here on such a cloud nine and it's not your everyday reality, and returning back to an everyday reality where I'm from, where my family is, where this life that I have is quite hard. And it was a very hard adjustment. And even now it's been a whole year and I'm only just feeling settled, but I still have this weird itching sensation that I want to leave. And I don't know if it's a New Zealand thing because we are so isolated, but it's there. It's very much there. And it's like, I can't really explain it, but it's like when I see people traveling or just even talk about traveling, I get this like, I want to go, I want to leave. It's a weird feeling. I can't really describe it. I feel like there's probably some sort of philosophical reasoning behind this. I do study philosophy, in case you're wondering. But anyway, going back to London, I spent a total of 1.5 years there and I had a really good time. I had the best time there. I really explored the city. It's massive, you know, it was a really fun time and I really genuinely believe that the time I went was perfect. I was young, I still am young. I had no obligation, I had no kind of rule book to follow by. I had just finished high school, and I also feel like due to the fact that my senior years at school were plagued by COVID-19 and we really missed out, that particular age group really missed out on the whole like youth high school experience. You know, it was quite a weird time. Something I could definitely go into in another video, but high school during COVID was weird, and I really, my friends and I reflect back on this time as well, and we were like, oh, like we really didn't get the same experience like people are getting now during school. It was weird, and I do feel like COVID did change the world, so I kind of left school with this longing to leave. It was a very intense feeling, and I really wanted to pretty much get out of New Zealand and really explore the world. And I felt for a bit, especially in 2021, even at the start of 2022, that it wouldn't be possible and I would have to go to university and I think about this quite a bit, and I remember being really sad that maybe this is just a dream that won't happen. But it did happen, so that's real good. And so I spent a whole year working in London. I worked in this awesome pub called The Swan, and I loved it. I'm definitely going to make a video on what I actually got up to in my gap year, but this whole video is my experience and if I would want to go back. So I spent a year working in The Swan, the great pub in Hammersmith. And I feel like working in a city versus traveling it is very different. You get a life, you know, you build a life, and I built my life. I built my life around work and exploring London and saving money and drinking. I did a lot of drinking. I really developed a taste for beer. You might be able to tell. And I spent a lot of my time, you know, at work, having pints, chatting with my friends, really getting into that London lifestyle, which is so great. It's very fast-paced. You know, I'm from New Zealand. We don't really do fast-paced here. I don't even think New Zealanders know what that is. Our fast-paced has seen a bit of traffic down the road. Like, our clubs shut at like 1 a.m. Fast-paced, you know what I'm saying? So coming from a pretty slow lifestyle, which I do really love, like I'm not hating on that New Zealand lifestyle, I actually love the New Zealand lifestyle a lot, but coming from that, it's quite a different sort of life, and I think it is really fun, and I was enjoying it. I was loving the hustle and bustle of London. You know, London's late, London's lifestyle is like pubs every night, you know, drinking, let's go to the clubs that are open till like 5 a.m. and night buses and night tubes, and I do miss the variety of pub culture and bars and stuff, because that's what I really enjoyed. You know, I was just 18 and I was getting used to the whole like drinking sort of stuff, but that's when it's most fun, because you can just like let loose. Like I said, I had no rule book. It was just me, bro. It was so fun. What also made my experience as well, that I will talk about, is my best friend lived in Paris the same time I lived in London. She was across the ditch. They were across the ditch. Apologies. And it was so fun. And also my friend as well introduced me to one of their best friends who was moving to London pretty much a month after me. And we became a trio. And these people are literally... we have the same shared experience, and it's amazing. And we did things like we traveled to Spain, we went to Edinburgh, we had so many fun nights out in London, nights out in Paris. It was great, and I feel like that really made an experience. Then my two best friends left. They moved back to New Zealand, and it was a bit lonely, I must say. Living in London without them felt a little bit like, oh, what? Where are my friends? I did have friends. I made amazing friends. We are still friends today. But I feel like when you have a shared experience with people you have connections with in your home country, it's different, right? And I feel like, oh, like they were over there and I was here, like, it didn't feel the same. But then I went traveling and things changed yet again. I went traveling Europe for 3 months and I had the best time of my life. I never thought I could be a solo traveler, but I proved myself wrong, and I absolutely love solo traveling. And I think that really set something in me that now I have this itchiness to go travel. I think I've got a travel bug. Isn't that what it's called? A travel bug? Yeah. Sarah has a travel bug, and I just want to leave so bad. Traveling for 3 months Europe involved a lot of drinking, a lot of late nights, a lot of socializing, and I'm very extroverted, but 3 months of just constantly that sort of lifestyle is draining. It's very exhausted, and I came out of the end of that trip, A, with no eyebrows. Sarah had none. It was tragic. And B, I was so jaded. I was exhausted. You know, I went from kind of at the start of my trip with lots of energy and lots of like enthusiasm to kind of at the end of the trip, I was quite irritable. I was very, very tired. I didn't really fancy all the socializing and this pub crawls, and just, I was so exhausted of it that I spent my remaining 1 week in London, because I actually decided halfway through my trip that I did want to come back to New Zealand. So my flights were all booked, but I actually remained. I had a week in London. But I think I did probably overdid it, because I did actually go on a week holiday to New York with my best friend from London, which was awesome. Don't get me wrong, that trip was so great. But I came back and I spent my last week in London asleep on the couch in my old flat. I didn't do much. I was asleep on the couch, and I kind of wish I actually filmed more. I wish I had a video of my last kind of days in London. I wish I did more, but I was so tired, and I do not blame myself at all, because I really was exhausted, and it's a feeling that I didn't even think I got energy back till like a month after being back in New Zealand. It was that bad. I was so tired, and I guess that was something I forgot when I moved back. I had that longing to be back in London, but then I remembered that I was tired all the time in London, and it's a busy lifestyle, and it was a hectic one, and I don't think it was one that I could keep up. I also, when I returned, like I said, London wasn't the same. London had a kind of skeleton of my old self. I did come back quite changed after my trip, and I just knew kind of deep down that it wouldn't be the same if I did stay here. I was getting very irritable with the London lifestyle. It was very hot when I returned back as well. I think they were having a heat wave. I was over it. I was tired. I was grumpy. I wanted to leave. I was getting to the point that everything was pissing me off very slightly, and it was just very doing my head in. That, you know, just catching the tube was just like, you know, a year ago it was awesome, it's fun, but then it was like, I hate this. I don't want to be here. That was the attitude I had towards the end of my trip. And I was talking to my parents about it for a lot, and they actually lived in London as quite a lot longer than me, and they felt the same, and they were like, okay, I think you are ready to come home. And I was. But when I came home, I wasn't ready to admit that I was ready to come home. I was so sort of angry at myself that I made that decision to come home early, because I actually had 7 months left of my visa. And I was like, why did I waste that 7 months when I could be over there? And like I said in a video that I made about it, that things were not going well at home. Things were pretty hard for a while. And I think, reflecting back, like, I think that's very necessary. I think you can't expect life to be amazing all the time, can you? No, it was hard. It was anything but what I wanted it to be. And adjusting back to a slower paced lifestyle was hard. But I think even if I do return back, it will not be the same, because that's a whole different experience that I had, and it will not be like that. To the question though, would I move back? I have very much a longing to leave New Zealand again and live somewhere else. I have definitely put a lot of thought into it, and I don't think I would want to go back. I would love to go back and visit, very much so. I even can't wait to I am back over that way and just like relive that fun time I had, visit the old pub I used to work at. But I don't think that I will go back to London to live. I actually think I will go somewhere else. I don't know what I want to do career-wise. I'm still yet to figure that out, but I genuinely think that I might go somewhere different. I might go to Melbourne. I've actually got friends in Melbourne. I might go to pretty much anywhere that has an opportunity. And if that opportunity is London, I will take it. But I just don't know. I really just don't see myself living there again. I would love so much to go visit. I actually think my best friend's going to visit and going to live there, sorry. I think my best friend is going to live back in London, and I definitely will visit, but I just don't see myself back there. And that's okay. I really thought I would go back, but I don't think it's for me anymore. And I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so grateful for that amazing, incredible year and a half that I had there. And it just lies so deep in my soul of things that, you know, it shaped me. Like, I'm actually getting really emotional, oh my gosh. But London really did shape me in so many ways, but I just don't think I will go back. And maybe a year ago, or like 6 months ago, I would have given anything to go back, but why am I getting emotional? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. I feel like 6 months ago I would be like, what? You don't want to go back? But I think I am really happy where I am now, and I look forward to any other opportunity that I get to live somewhere else. Oh my gosh, I'm actually like tearing up. This is ridiculous. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Bye!